Now we're going to look at some more properties of the real numbers. Each one of these properties, your inverse properties and your identity properties, there's going to be 2 each, and we're actually going to have for each one a version for addition and one for multiplication. First of all, your inverse properties. Our inverse property for addition says that a plus the opposite of a, so we're saying that basically for every real number it has an opposite. Because addition is commutative, which we've already talked about, we can say that this is the same thing as the opposite of a plus a, but the key result here is that when you add a number to its opposite, regardless of the order, you always get 0 for a result. We also see that multiplication has an inverse. We say that a times 1 over a is the same thing as 1 over a times a, which always gives us 1. This property is going to be put to use for equation solving so that we can identify the quote-unquote opposite of a real number for purposes of addition and for multiplication as well. Now our results that we get over here on the right hand side with our inverse properties are going to be put to use with our identities. What I mean is that our 0 is what's known as the additive identity. We say that a plus 0 is the same thing as 0 plus a because of commutative properties, but this always gives us a result of a. So our additive identity is 0. That is the number we add to when we do not want to change the number. And our multiplicative identity is 1 because a times 1 is equal to 1 times a, which is always a. So here we have a additive and a multiplicative identity. They are the 0 and the 1 respectively. Now I wanted to point out that as far as our inverses are concerned, that every number has an opposite. In other words, every number has an additive inverse. And the identities work with any number as well. But there's one exception over here that we need to note for our inverse property when it comes to multiplication. We want to note that we cannot let a be 0, because this would imply that 0 has a reciprocal, which would mean you could divide by 0, which in fact we can't. So that is the one exception that or the most important exception to note for these rules, and these are the 2 additional properties of real numbers with a addition and multiplication part each, but these are our additional properties that we should mention.